Hey, what's up guys? Wayne the Paperback Pleb here, back with another video. Now today I have a book haul for you guys. Now the three primary places I get my books are Barnes & Noble, so that the authors get a more of a split from the purchase itself, but I do not have one here locally, so I only go there about once every other month. So none of these books are from Barnes & Noble. And the primary place I mainly get my books is the thrift store. Now, I get almost all my books from the thrift store, and I know authors don't get a cut of that, but that's basically my only option. And then a little local mom and pop bookshop that's been around for like a decade at this point. And I like to support them by unhauling my books and giving them to them. And so that kind of makes way for all of these books. Now, I've gotten all these books over the span of 3 months. It's a little bit of an overkill, but I know that at least half of them I am guaranteed going to read and are at the top of my TBR. So let's get right into it. Now we're starting off with a very hyped book, and I know nothing about it. The Inheritance Games. Now this I think is a trilogy. I think the third one just came out. I know nothing about it, but I see so many people suggesting this book. And look at this. It's like brand new. No creases on the binding. I don't know how much detail you guys can see. I got this for $1 from the thrift shop. It looks like someone literally bought it and donated it the same day. So really grateful to have that for $1. What a steal. Excited to get to it. That's definitely at the top. Now, if you see a trend, here's another hyped book talk book. Caraval. I've seen so many good things about this. $2 for the hardcover in brand new condition. Gotta love thrifting. It's awesome. This is also at the top of the TBR because I've just seen them suggested so much. Right now I'm currently reading Light Lark because of all the drama surrounding it. I will have a review soon. It's just taking me a while to get through it, and it's not because it's long. But that's all I'll say for now. Now, next up we have Beyond the Spy. I'm going to cover this because this is a local library book. Now, this is Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles Book 2. I have the first book, but I do not have the second one, and so I'll have to doctor this up and get rid of all the library stickers and stuff, but it's a hardcover for $1.50. I still have the original Spiderwick Chronicles that I got during middle school. I loved that series. I bought them with my AR points, if you guys are familiar with that. So I saved up and bought the whole series. Still have yet to get the whole Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles series. Excited to have that one. Now, next up, I am new to Stephen King, but I've read 2 of his books so far. One of them, I was like, and the other one, it was pretty good. But I've heard a lot of people say this is one of Stephen King's best books, top 3 guaranteed. Salems Lot for $1. Can't hate on that. Next Stephen King book will be this one. I'm excited to get around to it. Sounds like there's vampires and all that jazz. Really excited. Now, this is probably my favorite book of the haul. I'm a fantasy reader primarily, but I read young adult as well. So those are the 2 genres. I kind of stick to those genres except for the horror genre recently because of Stephen King. Now, I have heard so many good things about the Faithful and the Fallen fantasy series, and this is the first book in the series, and I thrifted it for $1. I was so excited to see this because I was watching videos about the series like all month, and I was like, dang, well, next time I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm going to get this book. And I found it for $1 at the thrift. Not as good of condition. The corners are kind of fraying, but I'm really excited to get to this one. It looks like a super thick boy, but it's only 600 pages, and the type is pretty big. But that'll be a thick read. Definitely one of my primary. So Caraval, The Inheritance Games, and then this one are like top 3 for me to read next. Now, I'm going to be frank with you. I just impulse bought this one. This is $2. The Starless Crown. I loved the art direction of this book. This is just a beautiful book. Looks brand new condition. I know nothing about it. Apparently it's the Moonfall trilogy or series. Really curious to know if you guys know anything about this book. Let me know in the comment section down below. Should I prioritize reading this? Because I just was really drawn in by the cover. Don't judge a book by its cover, but I guess I just did that. The Novice. Now, this is the Summoner Trilogy, Book 1. Another really good condition hardcover for $2. A young adult fantasy. That's literally what I love to read. So eventually I'll get around to this for sure, but that's not a priority. Now, I loved the Aragon series back when I was in my early teens. And Christopher Poloni had another book. I didn't even know about it. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. Now, this one has very slight binding creasing or whatever. but it's in like practically new condition. This is a thick boy, like 1,000 pages, so I might listen to the audiobook and then read it whenever I can actually read, and just kind of split it up that way since it's so big. But this is his foray into sci-fi, and I feel like Aragon and its subsequent sequels get way too much hate. I think the series is definitely more basic when it comes to fantasy, but it's well written, especially the latter half of the series. I think they're actually incredible books. And so I'm actually excited to see what 9 years, I looked it up after I found this book, 9 years worth of writing is with this sci-fi book. So I'm excited to see how he's grown as an author. I was excited to find it. Now, this is kind of all in one. I love Crank. Now, it's by Ellen Hopkins, and she writes it kind of in a poetry format. And if you guys didn't know, I write a ton of poetry. I'm very passionate about poetry. I have a huge poetry collection. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see my poetry collection. And that's kind of what got me back into reading, is poetry has always been a mainstay, but I'm getting a call. All right, the call was answered. Now, I love Crank. It's written in poetry form. And I really enjoyed it, but I have not read the rest of her books. Now, Ellen Hopkins has so many books in this format, and I don't know if they're all connected. Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, I'm always looking to learn. But I found this is a mixture between the mom and pop shop and the thrift shop. Look at all of these books that she's written. So I know I have her first 3 books for sure, which includes Burned and Impulse. But then look at all of these. So I'm really excited to delve into them because it was one of the most unique experiences I've had reading in a long time. I just felt like it was like made or written for me, to be honest. Like the way it blends poetry but with a book in a book format, telling a long form story. So I'm really excited to get to those. I know and these are kind of lighter reads. Like I'll show you what I mean by that. So they're a lot lighter reads, so I can definitely read these on the side while I'm reading a mainstay book. But still, I'm so excited to get all of these for dirt cheap too. The most expensive one I think was $2. But yeah, now on to another. I basically get any Stephen King novel I find outside of the ones I already have. And this one, Geralds Game, there's a Netflix film out for it. I hate when they put the sticker on it though. There's a Netflix film out for it, so I'm excited to get around to this one. The preface the premise feels pretty interesting. So yeah, another Stephen King novel. I mean, he's a safe bet from what I've experienced so far and what people have told me. Now, the last 4 books, good old Brandon. Good old Brandon. Now, I love why am I brain farting right now? Fablehaven. Oh my goodness, I was like thinking Feria. Holy crap. It's a middle grade fantasy series. I loved that series when I was a kid. So now we have Dragon Watch. This is book 1 of another series of his. Brand new hardcover edition for $2. And then I got these too, which is the 5 Kingdoms, which is another series by good old Brandon. Book 1 through 3 in really good condition. I don't know when I'll ever get to the East, but I was like, oh my goodness, $2 each. Brand new hardcover. How could I pass this up? This is I also thrifted the Beyonders, which is a spin-off series, which is really good by good old Brandon. And I thrifted those too. So now I have a bunch of Brandon books, but these are the next ones to read. But that is my entire book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it in some strange way. I know I went kind of overboard, but what's great is I unhauled a lot of books as well and gave them to that local mom and pop bookstore. And I highly suggest you guys do that too. If they have a trade-in, feel free to do the trade-in. It still helps them out. They still get a good amount of credit, and it'll benefit you too. You can get like 1 book for trading in 5 books, and it's just a mutual benefit, or just donate them. But I highly suggest you help out those mom and pop bookstores because they're few and far between nowadays. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, pop a sub, all of that jazz. Stay on the lookout for a review of a Stephen King novel. I still haven't gotten around to it. I wanted to do this because I was so excited. And then a review of Lightlark, which will be finished soon. And then a review of Mistborn. So keep an eye out for all 3 of those. I've been working away at them. and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. Thank you, and I hope you guys are staying safe. Bye.